Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Women to Women show here at Miami Community Newspapers. And as you can see, we have a treat for you today. This is my friend, Ayesha Hakki. Did I say that right?
Yes, you did. Absolutely.
Thank God. I'm the worst. And Ayesha, Ayesha is a luxury event planner, and she was like, I have an idea. The holidays are coming up. Why don't we show your guests how to set their table for the holidays, how to pair wines? And here we are. So this is one that you don't want to miss.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun. I think so. Educational, but fun.
So thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Real quick, just tell them a little bit about yourself, how you're just like, what you do.
So I'm a luxury event planner. I moved to Miami from New York City during COVID. This is now my home. I love it. I love Miami. And basically, I do weddings and parties and galas pretty much all over the country. And I love it. It's my passion. I love doing this. It makes me so happy.
Okay. So she just shared with me because she just did this amazing wedding in New York over the weekend. And now here we are. I walk in and I see this whole setup. And when I tell you, she lives, breathes this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I dream about it. That's why when I got the idea, I had a dream and I'm like, oh, I'm not going to text her at 3 a.m. I'll wait. But that's where that came from. So, yeah.
So look at this table. Let's start with what do we want to talk about? Where do we begin?
So let's start with the basics because Thanksgiving is about 2 weeks away.
Yes.
So unlike other event planners, I believe in the environment and I like to use found objects wherever I can. And then the key is actually just how you put it all together. So we can start with, let's start with the centerpieces.
Okay.
So basically, I had these vases lying around. Of course I did because, I'm an event planner. And the candlesticks and whatever, these are actually from my bookshelf. And what I did was I actually went to Whole Foods.
Mm-hmm.
Picked up some flowers. We have some chrysanthemums in here, some spray roses, which are really pretty because you get a lot of roses off of one stem. We have some button palms. And then these are, I love them. They're bunny tails.
They're just
awesome. And then we have eucalyptus. So in Florida, we don't actually get, change of the seasons. Mm-hmm. So I was like, all right, let's put together a tablescape that reflects those colors of fall. Mm-hmm. And so the flowers are very fall flowers. It was a very simple arrangement. You basically take some floral foam and pop it in the bottom. They give you, so that holds everything in place.
Okay. And then where did you get your floral? You have some or you go to Michael's?
Oh, yeah. Michael's is like, hello, my favorite store.
Okay.
So, yeah. So, and then you just put that powder, you shake it in some water, pour it in. These will last about a week and a half. So that way your table and your home will look festive for the week. Down here, we just, some pine cones, again, bringing, the fall in, even though we are in Miami. I should have had some palm trees. I like different levels of candles. Candlelight makes everybody look really young, beautiful. It's very romantic. These ones are tall enough so that way when you're sitting, you can look through. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, the shorter ones, I have short tapers and tall tapers. And then, of course, a pillar candle in the middle just to give a little bit of dimension and height. Mm-hmm. And then the best thing is when you bring out the food, if you have a small table, you can take these off really quickly.
Easily. And it's not too cumbersome.
Yeah. And then if you have a bigger table, then you can put the food kind of around it. Mm-hmm. So now we're going to move to place settings.
Okay. I'm going to let you keep talking because it's about the fun game here.
Yeah, there's a game. We always have games. Thanksgiving is about eating and having a lot of fun. So basically, Tablescape is very easy to do if you just know the basics. First, you start with a nice tablecloth. In this case, we're just using a very simple velvet tablecloth.
Which you can get at any fabric store.
Anywhere there's so many places. Favor Mart. Yeah. You can buy them. They're
even
pre-hemmed.
TJ Maxx and Marshalls, all Home Goods, anywhere.
Yeah. And so the key to making your tabletop look very luxurious is by building layers.
Okay.
So we did just a satin runner across the top. Again, the green and the orange give you a nice sort of holiday fall look. And then we start with, if I break this down.
Yeah. Let's start with the charger.
Yeah.
Here, I'll hold this
All right.
and you can talk.
So the charger is basically a fancy placemat. And you can buy these again online.
Okay.
And what you'll do is you'll first put your charger down, and you want to make sure that they're lined up. So in this one, we actually have 4 corners. So we want the 4 corners to point in one direction.
Okay.
The next thing that goes on is your dinner plate. And this is actually a vintage, it's Mikasa Contessa. It's a vintage design, but I love it. I love it. I love it. It's bone china. Yeah. So your dinner plate goes on that. And then on top of that, you'll put your side plate, which you can use for salads or a first course. And if you have a bowl, then what you'll do is you'll take the bowl and put that right on top. So the idea is to layer it up. And as you serve a course, you take that plate away and you move in. The napkin, very simple. I just took, just a basic, napkin ring, strung a napkin through.
Hold on, let's see, which camera are we on?
We are down here. Hi.
Is it this camera?
Yeah.
Okay, here it goes.
Yeah. So it's just basically a very simple napkin ring, pull through. And then we're going to talk about the more difficult stuff, which is the flatware and the glassware.
Yes.
So you go to a party, you see all these forks and spoons, and you're just like, oh my God, what do I do?
You know what I always struggle with? What goes on what side, like the whole placing of the silverware.
Yeah.
I always forget it. And
and everybody, I mean, it's not like, they're not serving that at McDonald's, let's just say, So it's actually really, really simple. Basically,
how do we remember to always put, because you did this perfectly.
So there's a little trick.
Okay.
You go like that. You make your fingers like this, like that, right? So you have a B and a D. Bread, drinks.
Okay.
And then what you'll do is you start with, on the left side, you'll put your fork, because it's basically on how you eat. So when you cut, you use a fork and knife like this. So starting from the outside, you'll have the smallest fork, which again, I'm doing this simply. You can go down the table if you really have that many courses. But your basic salad fork, it's a smaller one. That's how you know that it's a salad fork.
You go from smallest to biggest.
Yeah. Then you have your dinner fork, which is the bigger one. So when your first course, you'll do the smaller fork. This will be for the main. And then on the right side, you have, on the outside, you'll have your soup spoon. And that goes to the outer corner. And on the inner corner, you have a knife, and you place it with the edge turned towards the plate.
Right.
And then what you also want to do is right here on the bottom of all your silverware should match the bottom of your charger.
Oh.
So it's all nice and lined up. This table's a little small, but... And then your little teeny tiny dessert spoon goes
on top
with the tail going to the left.
Okay.
Easy.
How do you remember to put your tail on the left?
You just get used to it.
Okay.
Yeah. If you had a bread plate, it would actually go on the upper left-hand corner.
Okay.
And then the knife would go across that with the edge facing down. But
always the knife, I know, goes in, because you don't ever want a knife edge facing out.
Exactly. It's common sense.
Yes.
Common sense. So that's that. And now we move to glasses. So your knife is your main guide, right? So the first thing, and again, this is based on how we eat. So the first thing is you take your water glass.
Yes, these are beautiful.
These are, I picked these up in Germany at like a little store, and
I just picked these up in Germany. No big deal. They're just gorgeous.
I've traveled a lot. My parents work for the airline, so I've been to like 45 countries, and yeah.
Okay.
So then, so that goes right in front. Your water glass goes right in front of your knife.
Okay.
Then we're going to work on how we're serving.
Oh.
So we're going to go with this. The first is your red wine glass. Why is it a big glass like this? Is because red wine has to breathe. So this goblet gives you enough space so you can pour it right up to here, about
A
4 to 5
quarter.
inches. Yeah. And you want to be able to spin it around, let the air come in. So when you bring it in, the nose comes, because you're all these flavors are concentrated here. And when you put your nose into it, it hits the middle of your tongue.
Right.
The correct way to hold a glass is by the stem.
That I knew.
Yeah. Not
supposed to do this.
When you're tipsy and drunk and in the middle of the night when you're just like, whatever.
But it's like this.
Yeah, like this.
Not pinkies up.
And the other type of red wine glass is the stemless glass. So again, red wine is served at room temperature. It doesn't really matter how you hold this one because
it's stemless.
And again, you've got the spin. You've got.
Would you mix stemless with stem?
Oh,
Why
yeah,
not?
totally.
It's fun.
You know, a little bit up and anything goes.
Yes.
Eclectic, up and down again.
Yes.
Purists would be like, oh, it must be like this. It must be like that. I'm like, use what you have.
Yeah.
Use it in creative ways and have fun with it. Then we have our white wine glasses. So again, purists like a diamond form. I'm okay with these. I just thought these were really pretty. They have like different colors on the bottom.
Yeah.
Smaller glass because white wine is served chilled. And again, you hold it from the bottom. You can also use this for rosé. I mean, it's just an all-purpose glass. And then finally, you want to toast.
My favorite.
I love the coupe glasses.
My favorite.
I have a flute, which, you know, again, the flute sort of holds the bubbles a little bit better and holds the temperature, but this is just so great, Gatsby.
The fact that you know this holds the bubbles and the temperature better, but this is, I'm like, I wouldn't have known.
Yeah, well, I mean,
but
these are cool glasses.
They're
just like fun to drink out of. And what's really cool is if you go on eBay, you can actually find vintage ones of these. They're all etched. And they're like, you know, from the 20s and 30s and 40s. When they break, it breaks your heart.
Yeah.
But while it works, it's still going. So that's basically your table.
So before we get into the wine pairing, I saw that you did a really nice type of game, which I really want to encourage because I was asking her, what is the pencil inside? So can we zoom in, I guess, on this camera? Exactly. So if you can see, there is a pencil right here. She has them labeled with who's going to sit here. And then this little envelope that says give thanks. The idea is, and I'll let you kind of keep talking.
So Thanksgiving, you know, obviously is about bringing friends and family together and taking a moment right before the end of the year to be thankful for an amazing year, life, everything. I mean, just
there's still so much to be grateful for. And we still have so many blessings amongst this craziness.
Yeah, totally.
There's still stuff to be grateful for.
Every single day.
Yes.
And so this little game that I created, well, I didn't really create it. It's not copyrighted. But it's basically, it's a little card. And when you open it up, you can see the person's name on it. And then what you do is with the pencil, you write inside what you're thankful for.
Yeah.
And then you put it back in the envelope. And you can do this, you know.
With anything. You could even get postcards.
Postcards, Post-its.
Yes.
you write it on your hand. So basically, whatever you can write it on. And then this goes, you know, you take it and you pass it around the table. So somebody else gets somebody else's card. And then you read, what you're thankful for.
And talk about it.
And you talk about it. And I always start to cry because I'm thankful for all of everybody. But yeah, but
you know
it's an emotional moment.
Good vibes. Like when that kind of starts a chain reaction.
Oh, totally.
And that's what this purpose is. Instead, you just kind of get caught up in the moment in Thanksgiving. You're so full. What are we going to do next?
Yeah.
And it's just like, you know what? This is what we're going to do next. Let's write down.
Yeah.
And really be intentional and think about what were our blessings? What are we grateful for this year? Write them down, pass them around, and read them out loud. And
another thing
inspires great conversation.
One year we did this, and then I took them and I put them on top of my bookshelf The next year when everybody came back, I pulled them out and we reread them. And it was just like, oh, wow, I remember saying that. That was so much fun. And then you're like, my life has changed so much. Or maybe it didn't change,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but it's small thing, but big impact, big
All
impact.
right, let's talk about wine.
Wine. So Thanksgiving, we have so especially here in Miami, we have all different cultures. We have, Latinos and African Americans and, American white Americans and Indians and Asians and everybody. So what I've done is put together some basic wines that can go with multicultural table because who doesn't, we'll have turkey, you'll have some tamales, we have like our Indian potatoes. I mean, we do all these things. So the first one I'm going to start with is this is a Pine Ridge Chenin Blanc Viognier. It's actually from California.
Wow.
And the reason why I chose this, so the Chenin Blanc is it's like an acidic grape, and it's sort of like the workhorse of wines. But the Viognier is a fruity floral wine. So this thing, it has notes of like sweet mango, a white chai tea. Yeah, so it really works with like creamy dishes like mac and cheese, mashed potatoes.
I've got to take a picture of these.
And
Pine Ridge.
The fruity floralness helps with spicy food.
Yes.
So if you are serving those tamales, you want to be able to pair this with.
Okay, let's show this. Why don't we show this?
And it's cheap.
Here,
I think it was like $12 or something like that.
Where?
Total Wine.
Andres, can you get this camera? Oh, at Total Wine?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
This is is it focusing? There we go. That's the white. There.
You got it?
Yes. Okay, that's the white. And it was like around $10, $12 at Total Wine. Okay. Oh, wow. We're going to pop it. Okay. That's it. Oh my God. It is really good.
It's just very light.
Yes.
Very easy drinking.
Yes. Love it.
Yeah, love it. Okay. Now we go to reds.
Okay.
So turkey.
And by the way, I just noticed you twisted this open.
Yeah. So, a lot of people have been like, oh, it's a cheaper bottle because it's got the twisty cap. Actually, that's not true. So I've seen cheap wines, not that that's a cheap wine, but I've seen cheap wines with the corkscrew, and then expensive wines with this. It's just it's actually better for the environment too. So I am totally fine with.
Okay, yeah, I love it.
Again, not a purist. This is Samuel Robert Winery. It's a Pinot Noir from the Willamette Valley in Oregon. The Pinot Noir is a light grape. So this is like a medium-bodied wine. It goes well with like poultry, turkey for sure. You can actually even pair that with like an oily fish, like a salmon. The reason why I like this one is because it has a full fruit. It's medium-bodied, but it has hints of cinnamon and nutmeg, which during the holidays is all the spices that we're using.
This one too, Andres. Sorry. I keep making Andres get up. Let's see.
And again, I think this one was like $15.
Okay, let's see. How about
right
that?
There.
Okay, perfect. That's our red wine.
And I want you to try this. I know you didn't want to, but
hey,
who's going to say no to this?
All right.
And then this one you can.
Cha-ching.
Cha-ching. Cinnamon and nutmeg. Look for that.
This is great. And I'm not just saying that.
It's fantastic wine.
It really is. And this is how much?
$15.
At Total Wine.
Yeah.
This is a great wine.
I mean, it might be $15.99. But
it actually has a little more body than some Pinot Noirs that I've had.
Yeah, but it's still a very light wine. And with turkey, I mean, if you want to put somebody to sleep, this would be the way to go. But it tastes amazing. And, with the cinnamon and nutmeg, it really brings out some of those, those quote unquote pumpkin spices that we use during the holidays.
Okay.
Next, we have a rosé. Who
Yeah.
doesn't love rosé?
Love it.
So
one of my best friends loves rosé. Only drinks rosé.
Yeah. So my girlfriend, who I call like a walking zagat,
Yeah.
she swears that the best rosés all come from Provence in France. And actually, that's kind of true. My label is a little dirty. So when you show that, ignore the dirtiness.
But
so
you
this
love
is
this one.
Yeah, it's a really easy drinking rosé. It's bright. It's got fruits, of course, in there. It also has rose petals and one more thing, which I can't remember. I had one drink of wine and I can't remember. But yeah, it has lemon cream.
Ooh.
So the lemon cream is a nice sort of touch because, again, with all the heaviness of the cheeses and the creaminess, it sort of cuts that down a little bit. Very easy drinking wine, beautiful.
And this one's around how much?
Again, about $15.
Okay.
And then finally,
this is my favorite.
The bubbly. So you can always serve, Brut champagne from France. But for people who are a little bit more on a budget, or if you have a lot of people coming or heavy champagne drinkers, this is a Brut Cava. It's actually from Spain.
Okay.
This is a really nice fruity. It's got a little bit of minerality to it. Mm-hmm. It's got a good head of bubbles in it. So I think it's just a very...
It's a beautiful bottle.
And it's gold. Wow, who doesn't like gold?
Yeah.
So it's just a great way to have champagne without breaking the bank. And it's a very elegant thing.
Is there a right or wrong way? Okay. And how to open bottles?
I'm going to show you how to open. It's a trick.
I'm going to hold your mic and I'll have you here. Be careful with the cord, please.
So everybody I know is like, always, how do you open it? I sit in the back. I waste all the champagne because I'm like struggling to get it out. It's a very simple trick, which what you do is you first take off the wrapper. Mm-hmm. Super simple. And then what you want to do is, put it on a surface and hold the top when you're unraveling it, just for safety. Yeah.
Okay.
And you take that off, hold the top.
Because sometimes it can explode.
And that's scary. Mm-hmm. You take just a little, a dishcloth or something and hold the cork tightly. You turn the bottle 45 degrees and then you just spin it lightly and it opens. Mazel tov.
Good.
So here, try this.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Can you hear the bubbles?
I know, it's a beautiful, beautiful.
Because that's what I love this. I don't know what it is with champagne or any bubblies. I'm like,
but look at all that. You see the bubbles? Yeah. There's so many of them.
It just makes me smile.
And it's a beautiful.
It's delicious. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh.
Brut Cava. Something is burning.
One of our candles?
I think so. As long as we don't burn the studio down, I think I'm good. So that's it. I mean, that's the Brut Cava is great with dessert.
This is beautiful. I'm so glad. And one question.
This decanter.
Yeah.
So the red wine, if you can pass that. I'm a big believer in the decanter.
Yes, I love it too.
Yeah, one, it's a very elegant touch, and it's takes your red wine.
Let's do this here in front of the camera.
Sure.
Let's do that here. Oops. Do this over here.
So if you can maybe hold.
I'll hold this.
So where is our camera?
That camera is this one.
So basically, what you want to do is you want to turn your decanter this way at an angle, and then you want to pour so that way the wine, you see how it's spilling around the bottle? That's basically how you want to do it. So when
it creates the aeration.
It creates the aeration, it lightens the tannins, and it basically gives your wine a lot more depth. So if you want to take a sip of that now, you'll see the difference from the original.
Okay, let me finish off this one.
Just so you know that taste is fresh in your mind. It's not because we're like a bunch of boozers over here.
Never.
Drinking on air. Don't you love your show? But now you'll be able to see that pour will have a little bit more depth.
It does. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if you don't have a decanter, go get one. You can get them anywhere.
I like that because, like I said, it has body, but it's subtle. It's nice. It's soft. And one thing I want to kind of highlight to the audience, how long have you been doing event planning?
So I've been doing events for about 20 years. I got certified through Preston Bailey, which is, he's
a big deal.
He's, I love him so much. He's so talented. I do weddings. I do events. I'll come, people invite me to their houses to do private parties like this. I do it all. I just love making people happy. I love the ritual of, putting together a beautiful tablescape. And then, people go away with a memory that lasts forever.
Absolutely.
And that makes me
invest in memories. My daughter's always like, buy me this. I'm like, I'm not buying you that. I'll buy you some memories. And these are things that people remember, especially the gratitude card. That's just a beautiful touch. I encourage everyone to do that this Thanksgiving if you're looking for an idea of something to talk about. Give thanks.
Well, and the other thing that I like to do with my families is I like to work with them and also bring their culture, their family heritages to the table. So, you can do anything with, like, obviously the give thanks, but you can also, put in an old photograph and then pull it out and talk about, oh my God, do you remember this back in 1935? Grandmother was, on a boat.
I mean, she is full of ideas. She just whipped this out. I mean, Miami, if you're looking for an event planner, even, for your wedding, for a party, for an event, or a
holiday parties,
holiday party at your house, call Ayesha. She has got amazing ideas. She whipped this up, you guys. No kidding. In like
a day.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So I really encourage. We're all about promoting local businesses, and you're here local in Miami. So we really want to highlight that. And if you know another woman that is here in Miami that has their own business, we would love to promote your business and get in touch with you. So, get in touch with us. And before we go, because we're all about promoting community and shop local, buy local, you have a local restaurant you want to give a shout out to?
So I'm fairly new and I'm still trying everything out, but I do want to shout out an area.
Okay.
So I live in, being from New York, I chose downtown Miami. I didn't choose Brickell because Brickell's very glossy. Downtown still has a little bit of edge. Yeah. What I love about downtown is just walking the streets and getting lost in there. And you discover like these buildings have stores inside. So my new favorite restaurant is actually Soya y Pomodoro.
Oh, I've been there.
Yeah.
That is
a gem. You would never, ever know it's there until you see it. And then you go in and it's like you're in Italy.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
That place is
live
cool.
music on Thursdays. And good-looking single men. Just saying, putting it out there. But yeah, no. So, and that's the thing in downtown, I found some great home stores. I found some fabric stores. I found this whole building of jewelry.
Oh, yeah.
I just literally get lost in there.
Yeah.
I found an Indian store.
You
which
did?
is nice because I could get my spices. Yeah.
Do you have a best kept secret in Miami?
Downtown.
Yeah.
That is my best kept secret, which now it's not going to be. So I'm going to see a lot more people, which is fine. Just wear a mask.
Thank you for coming. And thank you for setting up this beautiful table.
This was a lot of fun.
Our cameraman was even taking pictures before. He was like, I've got to show this to my mom. She loves these table settings. So anyway, please get in touch with Ayesha if you're looking to set something up for the holidays. I'm sure you could even schedule a Zoom call with her, anything. And you can find her on Instagram, Fab Events by Ayesha, and also her website, which is eventsbyayesha.com. There's her logo.
I love my logo.
All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Women to Women show. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next week. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. This was so much fun.
This was a lot of fun. I hope this was helpful. Thanks, Miami.